I live with a group of Chinese people, also known as my parents. Every Sunday we go to a place called Chinese church. You step inside, there's a painting of Jesus in a bamboo forest. I'm like, which sequel is this? The priest goes, son, Jesus was Chinese, Moses was Chinese, the Egyptians were Japanese. I was like, Father, if Adam and Eve in the Bible were Chinese, why would we eat the apple when you can stir fry the snake? All I'm trying to say is if Noah in the Bible was Chinese, no animal would have survived the ark. Okay? That's... I'm excruciatingly lonely. I mean, I'm single. My mother's like, if you don't find someone by 27, all the good ones are taken. Like, Mom, I'm 30. Man, when you turn 30, if you don't have depression, yeah, you're not paying attention, okay? Yeah, make some noise if you're under 30. You disgust me. Finally, with my mom. She doesn't even let me switch on the lights at night. According to her, moonlight is free. Mom, I live in the basement. Light doesn't penetrate in my bedroom, and neither do I. Have you been so single, you went to Specsavers just to talk to someone? I'm looking at the cheapest glasses. The manager says, look, we have designer for an extra 50 quid. And I was thinking, I really shouldn't. But if I want to look handsome, if I want someone to fall in love with me one day, then I have to have the designer. I spent 20 minutes deciding between the unconditional love of a future spouse or saving 50 quid. That's when the manager goes, mate, let me sort you out with a store voucher, okay? Just put them on, tell me what you see. It's like, I can see the sunrise in my girlfriend's eyes as we are riding camels in the Egyptian desert. He's like, no. He's like, no, that's the letter K. What's wrong with you? I'm short-sighted. He's like, you're mentally ill. But I couldn't hear the rest from the rustling sound of palm tree leaves in the... And I never knew the desert could be so cold at night, but she made me feel safe. The kiss we shared under the stars made me feel safe and warm like an egg inside a robin's nest. But by the morning, she vanished along with the camels, leaving me alone in the desert, too dehydrated to cry. And all I had left were my glasses that protected me from the UV rays. As I watched my summer romance crumble like autumn leaves under a camel's foot. And by winter, I was back in my mother's basement as though nothing had changed. Except with my newfound vision, I could see all the mold on my bedroom ceiling. And that's when I heard the manager say, take your voucher, get the fuck out of my store. I just want to say to the back row, when you don't laugh, I look mentally ill. Okay? Just... Look, this is a stage character, okay? all right, this is who I am. Fuck me. This guy's like, you should try therapy. Yeah. No, I call this radical acceptance. My therapist calls it a danger to society. I've never been in love. My mother says unhinged things like, son, I'm afraid to die because you're single. Who's gonna look after you? She goes, let me see your Tinder profile. She's like, what kind of a man puts gardening as his hobby? Just gives off peasant energy. We are a white-collar family, okay? Guys, I started speed dating. Anybody here been speed dating before? Fucking hell. Speed dating is a lot like doing stand-up comedy, okay? You talk to strangers for 5 minutes, and afterwards you're in a park, alone, shivering, crying in the rain. Wondering how all the swans and beavers and fucking insects manage to attract a mate, but I'm still alone. Wondering how Ted Bundy has a fan base. But I can't get one match on Tinder. You know, I'm on all the apps. Everyone I match with is either into anime, K-pop, or Kim Jong-un. You know it's a red flag when her bio says North Korea is best Korea. So we go on a date anyway. I take her to a sushi restaurant, and she calls me cheap. And I just want to know what's so cheap about bringing your own rice. She's like, what if the manager sees us? I'm like, no, we're gonna eat this before we go in. And then we order some seaweed and fish, and it becomes sushi in our stomachs. She's like, you call this a date? I'm like, look, we are pre-eating, like when you're pre-drinking. And by the way, you owe me for the rice. And that's when she got up. And she said something like, I have to wake up early for work tomorrow. I'm like, it's 2 p.m. on a Friday. And she's like, no, you're not getting this. I'm really sorry, but I was like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the boy who grew up believing that Disney stories were true love. Because one day he'll realize that fantasies belong in fairy tales. No one's coming to save you with the perfect kiss. Because in the real world, the beauty marries the prince and the beast dies alone. So all I'm trying to say is, you still owe me 50p for the rice.